So let's take a look at some very basic editing. So the first tool that you can use to edit is this selection tool. And there's grips on the corners of these shapes. So you can see my cursor changes based on what grip I select on. Okay. So if I pick this one, you can see that I can move the object. I can also just pick the path and move the shape. If I pick this corner, I can make this corner change size. So you can see that I can change the height and width. I'm going to Control Z, that's an undo. Move this guy back. You can also change the height and width over here. So if I make that a 2 by 2, you can see that this tool here maintains the proportions. So now I just made that a little smaller. Oops. Do this. If I pick on this path here, you can see that I can change this. And by picking that, it moves that rectangle over. If I take this one and you use this tool here, you can see that I can make it into a Pac-Man or a wedge or a pie. Okay. Go this way as well. So again, depending on the grip, will depend on what you modify. You can see if you have a cursor like this, it's going to rotate it. The circle doesn't really show you much, but if I do it on this one, you can see that I can rotate the angle of it. And over here is the angle, so if you want to be precise, I can rotate it 45, and now I've got a 45-degree rotation. Set it to 4. All right. So depending on what you pick will depend on what happens with your object. Another grip editing tool is this one here, which is a direct selection tool. And what this does is you can see that it puts the anchor points in here. So allows me to move and modify. So if I left click, all right, you have to click the path and then left click on the anchor. And you can see with this arc, I can adjust these lines here to change this curvature. Okay. If I use this, I can change the shape. I can use this one to change that. So again, you can make it very curvy depending on where you place these shapes. If you do this with the rectangle, and I left click there, you can see it gives me this, which lets me change the curvature of the corner. Same thing here. Now I can adjust this tool. So again, you're just messing around playing with these arcs. So even on an arc, I can turn this into an egg just by doing something like that, or the circle, I mean. With the line itself, same thing. Not a whole lot I can do this because of the anchor, but I can move the corner points and the end points. This one here, because it's already rounded, same concept. I can turn it back and get rid of that arc. But those are the grip editing tools. Those are tools that I can just manipulate and modify the shape and the path that I have.